In this video we're going to look at the area of a parallelogram, but because it's the start of the topic, we'll look at what we're going to be covering within areas of triangles and quadrilaterals. So in this unit we'll be learning to use the correct formula to find the area of a parallelogram, distinguish between the slant height and the height of the shape, use the correct formula to find the area of a triangle, use the correct area units, calculate the square root of a number with and without a calculator, calculate a missing measurement for a shape given its area and one measurement, and calculate the area of compound shapes. But to begin with, we're going to look at a few revision styled questions on area of rectangles and other general area questions. So question 1, find the area of this rectangle. So what we have is that area is length times breadth, which is 6.5 times 2, which is 13 squared centimetres. Question 2, the answer is the number of squared centimetres in 100 squared millimetres. So if we think about where that 100 squared millimetres has come from, so if we had a square and the area was 100, then the dimensions could have been 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres. And that would give us an area of 100 squared millimetres. But we know that 10 millimetres is equal to 1 centimetre. So the dimensions of this square could also be 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. And the area of the square would be 1 times 1, which is 1 squared centimetre. And because it could also be 10 by 10, which is 100 squared millimetres, that must mean that 1 squared centimetre is equal to 100 squared millimetres. So the answer is the number of squared centimetres in 100 squared millimetres. So that's going to be 1. Question 3, find the perimeter of this square. So what we know is that in a square all sides are the same. So the 4 sides are each 5. So the perimeter is going to be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 20 centimetres. Question 4, find the missing length of the area below. So again, we know the area of a rectangle is length times breadth. So that means 32 equals x times 4. So 4 times something is 32. So if we divide 32 by 4, we'll get that x is equal to 8 centimetres. Question 5, if the perimeter of this rectangle below is 48, find the missing length. So what we have is that the bottom and the top are both x centimetres and the height is 5 centimetres. So the perimeter is going to be x plus 5 plus x plus 5. And we know the perimeter is 48. And we know that if we've got an x and another x, that they combine together to give 2x, and we've got plus 5 plus another 5, so that's plus 10. So we've got an equation 2x plus 10 equals 48, and if we take away 10 from both sides, we get 38 equals 2x, and then if we divide by 2, we get what 1x is, and x is going to be 19 centimetres. Question 6, find the area of this rectangle. So again, area is length times breadth, which is 8 times 2.25, which is 18 squared centimetres. Question 7, find the side length of a square with an area of 225. So the area of a square is similar to length times breadth for a rectangle, only the breadth is the same as the length. So it's length times length, which is length squared. So we know that 225 then is going to be length squared. So to work out the length, we'll do the square root of 225, and that works out to be 15 centimetres. So we know 15 times 15 is 225. Question 8, if the perimeter of a rectangle is 26, so let's draw a quick sketch of a rectangle, and a length is 10 centimetres, find the missing width. So I'm going to call it W, So we've got the four sides labelled together, and we know the perimeter is going to be 10 plus W plus 10 plus W. The perimeter is 26, so that's going to equal, we've got 10 plus 10, so that's 20. And then W plus W is 2W, so it's 20 plus 2W. If we take away 20 from both sides, we get 6 equals 2W, and then dividing by 2 to work out what 1W is, we get W equals 3. Question 9, if the perimeter of a square is 44, find the length. So I'm going to draw a quick square. And what we know is the lengths are all the same, so they could all be L. So perimeter is the length around the outside, so it's L plus L plus L plus L. We know the perimeter is 44, so we're going to say 44 equals, and then combining these together, so L plus another L plus another L is 4L. And then if we divide by 4, that gets us what 1L is, and we get L equals 11. Question 10, the perimeter of this rectangle is equal to the perimeter of the square. Find the missing length. So of the square, all 4 sides are 13. So the perimeter is 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13, which is 52 centimetres. And for the rectangle then, the other two sides are going to be x and 7. So the perimeter, which is 52, is going to equal x plus 7 plus x plus 7. And we know that x plus an x is 2x. So we're going to have 52 equals 2x. And then the 7 plus the 7 gives us 14. And if we take away 14 from both sides, we get 38 equals 2x. And then if we divide by 2, we get that x equals 19. So finding the area of a parallelogram. A parallelogram is any shape with two pairs of parallel sides. So we've got one drawn here, and we can see we've got the base length, and we've got h, which represents the height, the perpendicular height. That's different to what the diagonal height would be, and it could be L. So that's a different value to h. So this h is referring to the perpendicular height to the base. And the area of this parallelogram is the base times the perpendicular height, which is essentially the area for a rectangle. So what I've done is I have drawn in red over this shape, and what we've got is a small trapezium. And to prove that the area of this parallelogram is the same as the area of the rectangle, what we need to do is drag this red area to the left-hand side, to the right-hand side, sorry, of this parallelogram. So I'm going to drag this trapezium shape over to the right-hand side of the parallelogram. And now what I've got is this rectangular shape in here. So we've cut off the trapezium on the left-hand side, and we've got this rectangle, and the length of the base is still b, and the width of the rectangle is the perpendicular height. So example 1 then, find the area of this parallelogram. And what we can see is the base length is 10, the slant length is 6, and the height of the parallelogram is 5. And the big thing here is that we're looking for this perpendicular symbol, because we need to know the base and the perpendicular. So we need the two lengths that are at right angles to each other. So area is base times perpendicular height, which is 10 times 5, which is 50 squared centimetres. Example 2, find the area of this parallelogram. Again, what we're looking for is the two perpendicular distances. So we're looking for the right angle, and we've got the perpendicular height is 6.5, and it's perpendicular to the base of 8. So the value of 7, the slanted side, we don't need. So what we're looking for is just the area is the base times the perpendicular height, which is 8 times 6.5, which is 52 squared centimetres. So we're looking for the two sides that are perpendicular to each other. That's the key to this.